On Wednesday, there was a lavish ceremony laid out in the Rose Garden of the White House. The occasion was for a formal signing of the NAFTA replacement deal, the USMCA. The White House said last week that President Donald Trump envisioned a trilateral summit in Washington at the White House to inaugurate the new trade pact. He invited Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, known as AMLO, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to attend. There was to be a formal signing in the Rose Garden, along with remarks from each leader, then talks about trade issues followed by a formal dinner, hosted by the President of the United States. The USMCA is the world's biggest trade deal. Canada is the largest trading partner of the United States. Equally, Canada and the US are intrinsically tied together with things like NORAD in protecting North America. Quite possibly the world's most important alliance, and certainly the most important relationship to Canada. Yet, on Monday, the Prime Minister declined the President's invitation, citing scheduling conflicts. According to the Prime Minister's itinerary for Wednesday, July the 8th, he had private meetings. He gave a speech to the International Labour Organization Virtual Global Summit at 11 a.m. and supposedly spent the rest of the day in Parliament. He didn't take questions, at least that I could see, if he was there even. Finance Minister Bill Morneau gave his financial announcement, which included a mind-boggling deficit of $352 billion, but nothing from the Prime Minister. Considering he'd been hiding out in Rideau Cottage for over 3 months, eschewing cabinet meetings and Parliament, one can't see anything in the excuses coming from the PMO which would justify missing the USMCA summit. So what was so important that he couldn't fly 2 hours to Washington to attend a trade summit when invited by the President of the United States? Claims that going would breach the 2-week quarantine rule for travelers from the United States are specious at best. By attending, he would be around a very limited number of people, and no one gets near the President without being tested first and being confirmed negative. He could have gone, waved the flag, taken part in trade discussions, attended the formal dinner, and still have been home to sleep in his own bed. An anonymous PMO staffer tried to offer the spin that the PM was concerned about proposed tariffs on steel and aluminum. Well, isn't that a reason to go and iron out any disputes? Trump was gracious in his remarks, saying, quote, "We will have a separate day with Canada, and they will come down at the appropriate moment," unquote. AMLO too was gracious in noting Trudeau's absence, saying, quote, "The trade deal will benefit all 3 countries and their people," unquote. All of the U.S. news coverage noted Canada's absence from the signing ceremony, essentially without explanation. It was, to say the least, a diplomatic faux pas that was totally unnecessary. It certainly diminished Canada's standing with the U.S. President, or at least Trudeau's. He did nothing to cement relations with Mexico's new president. These are our largest trading partners. Trudeau may think he lives in a bubble and he won't be criticized for whatever he does or doesn't do. But that is a fallacy, notwithstanding the mainstream media who carry his water. Canadians know what's important, and this trade summit was important. Trudeau deliberately missing it was malfeasance from a prime minister. And all of this was before the WE scandal even broke. For True North, I'm Leo Knight.